Well, happy Thursday, everybody. Hopefully everyone's having a wonderful week, and it's a wonderful week because we get to spend some time with you. Welcome in, everybody. This is the United Podcast here inside of the UKnighted Tap House on what's been a very, very chilly Thursday. It's been part of a very chilly week. This has been the coldest weather we've had in the month of October and really all fall long, but it's exciting because it means we're getting even closer to more playoff action. We just had some postseason action for a couple of Golden Knight teams both this weekend. Last weekend, of course, we're rolling around close to fall playoff season and the start of winter sports as well. So lots of excitement going on, but we're happy you're taking an hour of your busy week to spend time with us. If you're new to the show, the United Podcast is talking all things Gannon athletics with live interviews with student athletes, behind-the-scenes segments, and a little bit of insight as to what exactly goes into the mind and the preparation of a student athlete day in and day out. So glad you're with us. Exciting show tonight. A lot of things going on, including a lot of fun segments that we're going to show you this evening. But before we get into the show, let's show you what we have happening tonight for the United Podcast. Cross Country going to join us in just a couple of minutes. Megan Ickes, Luke Molina going to be on the set ahead of their PSAC championship meet. That's just about 48 hours from now. They'll be making the short trek south to Edinburgh to take on the PSAC competition in championship conference and conference championship competition, looking there for a strong showing in PSAC championships and ultimately a chance for several of the runners to make it to the regional, which is a few weeks from now in Lock Haven. We'll also preview a couple of other potential playoff opportunities for some of our other teams. Have a nice couple of exciting segments for you in the creative column, including our Pat McAfee kicking challenge that we just filmed and put out with football a couple of days ago. And it's rivalry week. It feels like it's Gannon Edinburgh in a lot of sports this week, so we're going to preview a little bit of that and get excited for what is to come in rivalry week. So again, a lot of things happening on the podcast tonight, but as always, we start off with our dish of the day. We've had a couple of great ones in the last few weeks, including 2 straight weeks in which we've had Smith's Combination. Smith's Company, of course, the bratwurst hot dog beef company in downtown Erie, has partnered with John Russell Hospitality for some great October dishes. This one, not necessarily that, but it is a delicious one. Let's take a look at our dish of the day. Tell you what, can't go wrong with pizza. Their pizzas here are delicious, and this one might take the cake for the best one of all. It is the carbonara pizza, our dish of the day that we're featuring today. Signature white sauce, topped with diced smoked bacon, prosciutto, tomato, house cheese, and scallion with a fried egg on top. It is all things that you like to eat, and the greatest part about it is you get to eat it all in one. Part of their great lineup of pizza and flatbread. Really can't go wrong with any pizza at the UKnighted Tap House, but this one is a perfect one. You can go to the Tap House tonight or any night and order our dish of the day, the carbonara pizza. Hey, speaking of coming in person, if that pizza wasn't enough to get you tempted to come down here to State Street on the corner of 4th and State, this probably will. As we've been talking about throughout the entirety of our podcast season, it is our Golden Ticket giveaway. We're continuing this weekend, every week throughout the entirety of the year. If you come to the United Podcast in person each and every single week, you will get to add your name into an entry for an opportunity to win a free year's worth of season tickets, free basketball season tickets, free football season tickets, and reserve seating to every single home game for the entire year. This drawing will happen at the end of the month of May. So every week, you come to the podcast live in person, you get your name entered into a drawing that will happen at the end of the year. And if you win free season tickets for a whole season, it's our golden ticket. Why wouldn't you want to take advantage of this great opportunity? Make sure you do so today at the UKnighted Tap House and every single week, Thursdays at 6 p.m. at various John Russell Hospitality locations. So, pretty cool way to kick off our show. Great dish of the day. Great opportunity for you to win free season tickets next year. And as always, we're excited to be live in person at the Tap House tonight, whether you're watching us from afar or you were in person this evening, watching us sitting down and having a bite to eat. John Russell Hospitality is our presenting sponsor of the United Podcast, and we're thankful each and every single week for their hospitality and support of Gannon Athletics.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All right, let's show you what's on tap for this week before we get to cross country ahead of the PSAC championships. They're first up on our list. It's the One Fall Championship competition this weekend. Of course, men's golf finishing third in the PSAC last week in Lebanon, PA, to kick off the fall conference championship season. We'll be talking with a member from our men's and women's team in just a moment to talk about the championships. That's coming up Saturday at Edinburgh. Rain or shine, folks. It might be muddy on the course. They won't care. They'll talk about that to us in just a second. You talked about Rivalry Week and how Edinburgh is coming up a lot in the cards. Cross country's at Edinburgh for championships. Football hosting Edinburgh for the Battle of the 814 this Saturday. Going to be an exciting game. These two teams, anytime they match up, it is a rivalry, no doubt. It is the battle for the 814 Gannon at Edinburgh Saturday at McConnell Family Stadium for a noon kick. Speaking of Edinburgh, volleyball, guess where they travel on Friday? Yeah, you guessed it, Macomb Fieldhouse, a half hour south from here Friday night when they take on the Fighting Scots at 6 o'clock, and then the Golden Knights back home on Saturday to face Cedarville at 3. So it is a home and home, if you will, for Gannon. 2 straight games on Friday and Saturday for head coach Matt Darling and the Golden Knights riding that 11-game win streak. Soccer has their senior day, specifically men's soccer on Saturday, when the Golden Knights will honor 8 seniors Saturday against UPJ at McConnell Family Stadium. So what better? Go to the football game, head over to the tap house, get a bite to eat, and then come back and watch some soccer for senior day. As, like we said, 8 members of the Golden Knights will be honored ahead of that game against UPJ. Gannon just picked up a huge win yesterday against Seton Hill, 4-2. Women's soccer, they also beat UPJ last night in a rain-shortened game. They'll take on IUP. It is the one team that they have not beaten. It's the only tie on their schedule this year for head coach Colin Peterson. They'll travel to face the Crimson Hawks Saturday at 1 o'clock. Meanwhile, water polo and swimming back in action this weekend. Men's water polo has a chance to clinch the number 1 seed in the WWPA if they can beat McKendree on Saturday. If they sweep McKendree and Salem, they're guaranteed the 1 seed. If they beat Salem, lose to McKendree, there's some math that has to be at play here. But they've got 2 big conference games Saturday at 12:30 and 5:30 against McKendree and Salem. And then Sunday, Mercyhurst and Washington and Jefferson, the 2 opponents for head coach Zarko Sadakovic and the Golden Knights. That one happening on Sunday. Meanwhile, Milan Meadows swim team, the men fresh off a win against Clarion, the women's team with a strong showing despite the loss last week. They're also in conference action again. They'll be traveling to IUP Saturday at 1 o'clock for their swim festivities. And so with that, we talk championship season, and no one better to bring in for our show than Luke Molina, Megan Ickes, 2 members of the cross-country team who will be at PSAC championships coming up in just about, 48 hours from now, right? It's coming up quick. I feel like the month of October just flew by. Am I wrong in saying that? I feel like the season's just whisked by quick.
Definitely flies by.
Yeah, it definitely went so quick this season.
Take me through what the year's been like so far for both of you. I mean, you've been part of this team now for a while. You understand that I don't want to sound silly when I say this, but it's a sprint. No pun intended. I mean, you guys go. And the season really begins in September and it ends mid-October, late October. I'll start with you on this, Megan. Take me through the season so far, what you've liked about the team as you've gone through the year and kind of the things you've taken away from the season so far.
Yeah, so definitely one of the things that I've really liked about this season is we got this big group of freshmen, and it's the first, well, we had a really big group last year, but it's the first time that the girls team has been close to the same size as the guys team, and our freshmen have taken a really big step forward, and they've created a really great dynamic, even with the upperclassmen, and I think that it's made racing less individual and more of like a team dynamic for us, and I really like that over the season. It kind of gives people to it kind of gives us people to look for during the race and people to race with, which I think has been really helpful for people.
So how do you create a team dynamic when it is a team race, of course, but you race as individuals? What's that process been in becoming more of a team, if you will?
I think you'll notice a lot of times people start the race together. So we'll do a lot of pack running, maybe in the first mile, sometimes mile and a half, depending on which pack we're talking about. And just in general, I think when you cross the line and you see your teammates, it kind of is like that, like, oh, we group back together, we're supportive. You kind of congratulate people, pick them up if they had a bad race,
Sure.
That kind of thing.
Sure. And it's been a great season so far for the women's team. Same with the guys as well, Luke. We started off the year, I think the first segment that we ever did was the mic'd up running around with Luke Andreaso holding the GoPro. That feels like eons ago when it was back at 80 degrees. But you guys have a pretty tight-knit group as well. You've had a couple of great races and a lot of success. Take me through the season from your perspective for the guys.
So far, I think it's been really good. I mean, our first 2 races, the home meet and then our race down in Youngstown, we got to win both of those. That was a fun feel. Early season, I feel like it's just kind of like breaking some of the rust off. You got to get used to racing again because, I mean, the 8K is a scary distance, I'd say. But yeah, the more races we've been able to do, the better it's been getting. This last race, I did not race this one, but down at Houghton, all of our guys that went had a great race. I mean, lots of PRs, lots of new fastest times for them. Really cool to see, and I mean, I think the PSAC should be a little scared.
I have to imagine that for both teams, with the double victories at Youngstown State, to be able to have that success against Division I level talent, right, in a crowded field, that had to be a liftoff point for you guys this season, right?
Yeah, it was definitely a pretty exciting start to the season, especially because it is kind of still you're shaking that rust off, getting back in the group of racing. It was pretty exciting, yeah.
And you, Luke, I'm sure for you as well.
I would say so. Lots of fun.
So the season is a blur, and now here you are, championships, and I know you hopefully still have more to go, but you're already in championship season. What's the key to getting to your strongest point so quickly? Because you're really the one season, it's you and golf, right, that are so quick. You have your championships really early on. How are you able to get to your peak so quickly, whereas other teams just have a lot more time to be able to be successful and get to their peak?
I'd say probably just because we've been training all year long. I mean, the whole summer is basically the start of our training. So we really get going. As soon as the year's on, that's when we're kind of sharpening things up. All the bulk work is done already, I'd say.
Is it the same for you, Megan? What's the key for you in the years that you've been here to be able to be successful quickly as opposed to having it be a slow prod throughout the year?
I really think it is honestly that summer training. I mean, we get done with finals week and then our summer training starts that first week. We're back in May when we're back home. And I think you just have to remain consistent and keep up with your training over the summer.
So let's talk championships. You don't have a very far drive. Luckily, it's not like you got to get on a bus Friday evening and drive 6 hours or 7 hours. Edinburgh, it's a course that you don't typically run on. I don't know, have the two of you ever run at Edinburgh before?
No, I never have.
Only on an easy day, no races.
So I don't know if you got a chance to preview the course or whatnot, but let's talk about the expectations of what you expect from the course. When you look at the layout, if you've seen it, if you've ran it, if you've just done a preview there, what are you expecting on Saturday? Maybe some of the challenges, Megan, we'll start with you, of what the course might have to offer.
So the first 800 meters is going to be like a big open field, and then you're going to immediately go up a hill. So I think that that's going to be one of the first challenges, is making sure you don't kind of lose all of your momentum up that hill trying to get a spot. And then also just with all the rain that's been coming this week, I think it's going to be a really muddy course. And I think people are going to have to be okay with maybe not racing for time, but rather place in the PSAC, because everyone's going to be facing the same challenges. But the course itself is just going to be slow because of all of the mud.
Let's talk about on the guys' side too, Luke. I'm sure similar for you dealing with the elements. What do you expect from this course that might be of a challenge that you'll have to look at on Saturday?
I mean, so we've been there once this year just for like an easy day to go out and practice the course. Yeah, definitely some hills. They're kind of sneaky. Nothing like crazy and sharp. It's those real gradual hills that, I mean, if you're not conscious and paying attention, you can kind of overwork too early and leave yourself in the second half of the race in a pretty painful spot. So I'd say that, and then just being prepared for kind of things getting thrown off by the pack, the mud, all that. But bright side is everyone else has to do it too, so we'll do it better, you know?
So I've now heard twice the term easy day. What constitutes an easy day for this team?
That's the thing I feel like I say to people a lot, and they always kind of get thrown off. Like if I say I'm going for an easy 10 miles and people go, 10 miles isn't easy. It's not about the distance. It's about the pace. So I'd say, yeah, I mean, maybe a walk pace is easy, but, you know, like whatever that pace be, you know, it's just about keeping it relaxed, you know?
I only say that because for the common man, the common woman like myself, and I don't trust me, my run around the house with my kids is enough to get me winded. I just find that funny that, you know, you look at 10 miles as something easy, and kudos to both of you in both teams for being able to be that proficient in running every single day. When you look at Saturday too, it's a big field of competition. Of course, I feel like your head coach and Coach Aaron's in his third season. Each year, you gradually built success on this team. What's your hope, your outlook? We'll start with you on the women's side, Megan. what would you like to accomplish? I know that, of course, the title is always what everyone wants to do, but what's your goal coming up on Saturday as you look to make a big run at this thing?
I think honestly, as a team, I'm hoping that we kind of shake up those preseason polls. We've talked about it before, but I think that we have a few strong. I mean, everyone's a strong runner, but we have a few kind of in like the back of like our top 7 that are going to be a really strong pack, and I think they're going to really make like a huge difference in our team. And I think they're who could really shake up the preseason poll, especially because a lot of them constitute as freshmen, and people don't know what they don't know until they see them run there. You know.
I'm sure I was going to hit on that point because the women's team specifically, you have a pretty young team, and they don't know what they don't know is such an important point. Do you try to give them – how much is one of the leaders of the team, I guess I'm asking Megan, do you give them a bunch of pointers? Do you just kind of let them go out and run? I guess in terms of like a horse race, how much of blinders do you put on the horse, and how much do you just say, just go out there and do your thing?
I mean, honestly, all of them are such smart runners that I really don't think you need to give them a ton of guidance.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is when they're shifting from a 5K in high school to a 6K in college, I think you just need to reassure them that it is a bigger distance, but it's not like an unfathomable extra amount of distance.
Right.
And they are strong runners. They've been training more than they trained in high school, and they're going to be okay. I think it is for them about sticking like together in a pack or finding people in the race that they know they can compete with and kind of just keeping their eyes on them for the race.
Yeah, it was just fascinating to see the success that the freshman class have had so far this year on both teams. And we go to the guys now, Luke. When you look at what you'd like to accomplish for PSACs, what's the team saying ahead of this race that we want to get X done, Y done? What are you looking for?
I'd say pretty similar to what Megan said. I mean, I think a big piece of it is we feel we've kind of been underestimated. And so it's kind of show them what we're working with. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think the preseason poll, if I'm remembering right, put us in 7th.
I think 7th and 10th, maybe. There were so many
Okay.
polls, it's hard to remember.
Yeah. I believe 7th. And I mean, that's not accurate. Well,
Yeah.
They'll find out soon enough. Some of the teams they were saying that were going to beat us, I think like a lot of it's based on the previous years and things like that. They don't realize how much we've grown, how much has changed. And I think they'll find out.
Wanted to ask about your coach. We just mentioned him a few minutes ago, but Coach Ahrens and what he's done throughout his time so far. Short in the grand scheme of things, but 3 years is a long time to build a program. How has that relationship developed between coach and student athlete? And we'll start with you on this, Luke. What's it been like to now have him for another year at the program? And the continuity, I'm sure, that you have from coach to student athletes probably really strong now.
I mean, so me and coach came in at the same time, which was cool. He became the coach, got hired in the summer when I was still training up. So that was really cool. We've always kind of been together in that way. And I feel it's been great. He's very supportive, very knowledgeable. I mean, along the way, he's helped me change my mileage, helped a lot of new workouts, a lot of new approaches. And also he just brings a great mindset and a supportive environment that I think is just really exactly what's needed to grow.
When I talk Megan to a lot on the team, they use the term steady hand as the leader of the program. Would you agree? And how has that relationship for you and the women's team been with Coach Ahrens at the helm?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I came in as his first recruiting class technically, and we were pretty small, and it's been kind of interesting to watch it grow each year. I think he's done a really great job of bringing new people in each year in bigger classes. And honestly, our workouts, they are super individualized to everybody. It's kind of what you need. For example, some people run 6 days a week. Some people run 7. I only run 5, and I have a cross-train day because I am prone to injury. And I think he does a really good job of making sure that everyone has what they need so that they can perform their best at these conference meets.
You both have been part of the program for a while now, and you'll leave your legacy wherever you go next. What will be your message? And I know you still have season left, but what will be your message to your teammates when you depart as to, this is the key to success. This is how you make things work as a student athlete. What has this career so far from cross country meant for both of you? And Luke, we'll start with you on this.
I mean, what has running meant for me? That's a tricky one. I mean, I've been doing this for pretty much as long as I can remember.
You kind of have to, right?
Yeah. I got into running, I think, in 3rd grade because my sister ran, and so she was a big inspiration for me. From there, I mean, I picked up a natural talent for it, and so I've always enjoyed doing it. I'm terribly unathletic in any other sport, so it's kind of the thing I've always put a lot of the effort into.
Sure.
And I find it's the sport where the effort you put in matters more than any other, because I could practice basketball all I want, and I'm never going to be 7 feet tall, but, I can be pretty great at running by the time I've put in, and I think that's really cool. And that way I think it's a special sport because what you put in is pretty much what you get.
In basketball, you can be 7 foot tall, you can be 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". If you can't jump, it still doesn't matter. So there you go. What about for you, Megan? And as you reflect on this year, the career so far, of what this has meant to you?
I think for me, honestly, it's just about being thankful to be here and putting your all while you are here into it. I lost my first season to an injury right when I came in, and it was pretty hard. And ever since then, I've kind of approached it in a different way because running's always been something that's been pretty important to me. But I feel like it gave me a chance to step back and really just appreciate the fact that I am able to run in college and that it gives you so many great people and opportunities. And I think it's important just as much to want to perform, to appreciate just what you have through the sport.
No doubt. It's going to be an exciting day on Saturday. We hope for your sake the weather somewhat holds off. The course is going to be muddy regardless. It's been raining like crazy, but looking forward to watching you all compete. Best of luck on Saturday, and go get them. Enjoy it and have some fun, and can't wait to see what you guys accomplish coming up this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Cross country with us on the show. They're less than 48 hours from PSAC championships.
At John Russell Hospitality, every restaurant tells a story of flavor, community, and unforgettable moments. From handcrafted meals to welcoming spaces, we bring people together around a table. John Russell Hospitality, where great food meets genuine companionship. Make sure to visit one of our 6 locations today.
All right, back with you here on the United Podcast. A big thanks again to Megan Ickes and Luke Molina for joining us on the show ahead of Cross Country Championships, which comes your way less than 48 hours from now at Edinburgh University. If you're a Gannon fan, no excuse. Your Saturday is planned, right? Cross Country Championships. Travel south in the morning, watch the guys and the women's team compete, then come back to McConnell Family Stadium, watch what will be a great game against Edinburgh for football. And then, of course, stay for men's soccer, 5:30 senior day. It'll be a big day for Gannon Athletics, and can't wait to continue the postseason success that we've set foot on in 2025. Hey, for the rest of the show, we got a couple of fun segments to show you as we roll along here. Cross country, our lone live guest of the night, but maybe you're not into social media. Maybe this is not something you tend to check every so often. So we figured we'd show you a couple of our exciting segments that we've had from the last couple of days, starting with this. We know, of course, football, big game Saturday against Edinburgh. The Battle of the 814 is always a classic, no matter where it's played, where the teams stand in the season. The rivalry is intense. You know what else is intense? Pat McAfee's intense. And for those of you who follow social media, one of the things that you may have noticed that's been floating around as a trend has been called the Pat McAfee Kicking Challenge. The rules are very simple. Members of a football team run around to different places on campus. You set up as quickly as you can and just have students try to kick a football as far as they possibly can. Well, we got Justin Novotny, Bryson Costa, and members of the special teams unit to help us along with the Pat McAfee Kicking Challenge. And let's just say, we don't want to overreact, but we dominated the challenge around campus. Take a look. It is our Pat McAfee Kicking Challenge, new this morning here on the Gannon Golden Knights Network.
Novotny,
Andrew Murchkowski,
Bryson Costa. We are doing the Pat McAfee Kickoff Challenge.
let's go kick some. Field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. Let's go! Let's go! Hey, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal! We got 10 seconds. We need a game winner. We need a game winner. Game winner. 2, 1. Yeah! It's good! Let's go! Hey, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal! Money. Yeah! Let's go! Let's go! Nice kick. Hey, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. It's good. Yeah! Field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. Set. Yeah! Yes, sir! For game! For the win! Game winner! Kick it! For the win! It's good! It's good! Let's go! Let's go! It's good. It's good. It's good. Let's go! Go. Hey, field goal! Field goal! Kick it! Kick it! 2! It's good! Let's go! Field goal! Field goal! Field goal! Hey, I'm stopping. I'm holding. Field goal! Field goal! Kick it. Boom! Let's go! Appreciate it. That's good. That'll do it for our kicking challenge.
Be here for the Battle of 814 Saturday.
Well, our special thanks to everyone who unknowingly was part of the challenge. Again, this is a surprise sort of a thing, so everyone who kicked it had no idea that they were going to be part of the challenge today, including President Dr. Iwanenko, who we literally caught walking out of Old Main. So thanks and props to him for spending a couple of seconds with us to be part of that segment. We loved putting it together, and Justin and Bryson were wonderful, as well as Andrew. So great job, everyone, for part of the Pat Mac. All right, let's roll along here on the United Podcast. Couple of shout outs to give some award winners for you on this Thursday from earlier this week. Starting with men's soccer, how about Frederick Paulson? You're going to see him in a couple of minutes for another challenge that we filmed just this past week. But the challenge for him was not a challenge this past week. He was tremendous. The PSAC West Men's Soccer Athlete of the Week, a couple of big goals in a Gannon victory just a few short days ago. He picks up the PSAC West Men's Soccer Athlete of the Week. Speaking of Athlete of the Week, Ella Fidel, I don't know if you've seen the women's soccer team and their statistics specifically. Ella Fidel has been on an absolute tear and was recognized as such this past week. She was not only named the PSAC Women's Soccer Offensive Athlete of the Week, she was also named the Division II Women's Player of the Week nationally by TopDrawerSoccer.com, when she led the Golden Knights to a 3-0 week, including scoring 4 goals and 1 assist. The senior just getting it done, game in, game out. She's going to be a big part of the playoff run that the Golden Knights hope to make in the coming weeks. Our Gannon Student Athletes of the Week, Frederick Paulson showing up again. Again, those couple of two big goals on 2 shots in the shutout victory last week. And Sydney Wake, one of the juniors on Matt Darling's volleyball program, who sometimes goes unnoticed with all of the other talent around her. She had a huge weekend in the home sweep against Callan Seton Hill. 20 kills, a .455 hitting percentage in the win on Friday, and over 300 in the victory against Seton Hill on Saturday. 11 straight for the Golden Knights. They're going to look to continue that success coming up tomorrow night when they take on rival Edinburgh down on Friday night at 6 o'clock. Other events that we want to touch on and talk about, Madness at the Highmark. We've been talking a lot about this for the last couple of weeks. There is a lot of excitement surrounding this event. Men's and women's basketball will be putting this on in the Highmark Event Center on Thursday, 1 week from now at 9 o'clock. Admission is free for all students. A chance to get your first look at the men's and women's basketball teams. There's free food. There's a live DJ, a dunk contest, a three-point contest, and newly announced, one lucky student will have an opportunity to win $1,000 in tuition if you show up on Thursday, October 30th. So make sure to be a part. If you're a student of Madness at the Highmark, happening 1 week from today, October 30th at 7 p.m. Rolling along with basketball, it's coming up close, folks. 2 weeks from tomorrow is the kickoff of the D2 CCA Tip-Off Classic for women's basketball. Gannon and Edinburgh jointly hosting this event, in which 6 games will be played at each location. The Golden Knights with a couple of huge games against NCAA tournament goers from a year ago. They'll look to start their season off right. If you don't have your tickets yet, make sure to visit eriesportscommission.com. We also have information on our website as to how you can be a part on www.gannonsports.com. All right, let's continue along with the United Podcast here, brought to you as always by John Russell Hospitality. Let's get into some season previews. Winter sports are almost here, and for both wrestling programs, Tom Boyd and Aaron Vandeveer for the men's and women's wrestling programs, means the season nearly ready to kick off, and both teams have high expectations for 2025-26. Let's start with Coach Boyd and the wrestling program, as some returners and some key transfer student athletes as well will look to lead the way in 2025.
Big transfers came in. I'm really excited about that. And then we have a couple guys sitting in the wings that'll be back. Yeah, and those 5 guys, not only are they great additions, but they're all great leaders, and they add some valuable tools to our chest there. They're just good guys. Jerry being a 2-time All-American, he's right there to be a national champ. He sets that for not only the guys that have been here, but for all the incoming freshmen. And then Logan and Pat right there on the brink last year. Yeah, they're the guys that have been here. They're my leaders, and it's a great thing to have.
Going into this season, like, we know we picked up some good guys, and we know we returned a lot of good guys. And also adding Coach Jeff Boyd, I mean, you know, you can look at on paper what we're supposed to do, but what we actually do is, you know, it's done at our tournaments. So, and I think we're preparing well in here. So it's going to be a great year, and I think everybody, especially the alumni and the fans, should be excited for really a phenomenal year.
I think the main thing this season will be we'll have guys constantly pushing each other. Like, say Dylan Walker's going to wrestle in front of me. He's going to go out and get the win. I'm going to be fired up. And then Joe Lyons is going to come out after I win. He's going to want to get the win. So I think a lot of it will be just driving off of each other. And we'll use each other's wins to benefit each other and make each other want it more.
You just have to make sure that everyone is doing their job, because if one guy's off the bus, like Coach Boyd said, the bus isn't going to move. Like, you just have to make sure that everyone's on the same page. Same expectations.
At the golden era, here we are, the first year NCAA status. Yeah, we're excited. We don't want to forget that milestone and just kind of cherish that and have that, again, excitement, you know, building each day. And, you know, gets lost a little bit if you're not reminded and you forget how special and unique it is. So we definitely want to have those moments and cherish it and keep it in the forefront and realize how special it is. We have a great team, just from start to finish. The team behind the team, you know, the team coming in that's been here, kind of established. Our leaders are just filling that role exponentially, just tremendously, leading, you know, those girls, those first girls coming in, they're just folding in to the mix wonderfully. Just the passion, like I said, we have a young team, but we also have a veteran team that's willing to share and help teach and bring them along. So that's really cool to see, just again, that mix of, you know, first years and transfers, building, you know, what the older and veterans have kind of established. It's really neat to see.
And last year we were able to win regionals with the team. I was like, all right, we're finally getting rings. But then I realized we weren't officially NCAA sport, so we can't get those rings. So this year, that's the goal, get those rings back. Well, finally get those rings. But yes, obviously, it is a very, very special feeling to finally be an NCAA sport. And it's just unbelievable, now that I really, really think about it, because I never thought that we would be able to achieve it in my 4 years of being here again. And so, yeah, it is truly unbelievable. I still can't believe it.
The quote that was said last year is that the year before we were a team and last year we became a team. So hopefully we can carry that through this season, still feel unified and together, and add all the tools, all the tournaments, just be a unit together.
I think we have to exceed what we did last year, because I mean, we have a lot of good freshmen coming in, a lot of good recruits, and we just want to do better than we did last year. We always just want to keep improving.
Going to be a great season for both the wrestling teams. The men's wrestling team ranked 10th right now in the NCAA Division II heading into the season. Women's wrestling will be right there as well as they get ready for their first ever campaign as an NCAA sanctioned sport. We'll talk to the team a lot more throughout the season about the importance of that, but cannot stress enough how exciting it is for Coach Vandiver and the Golden Knights to be a part of the NCAA family this season and moving forward beyond. So best of luck to both wrestling programs. We'll be having them on the podcast in coming weeks. Stay tuned for that as we roll along into our winter sports season and what we call crossover season at the end of October and beginning of November, which is starting to run pretty quickly into the forefront of our lives. All right, let's continue along in our podcast and talk some volleyball. You know, we mentioned just a couple of moments ago, Sydney Wake being part of our Student Athlete of the Week honorees for this week of October 23rd. And part of the big success for volleyball in their big win streak that has now surpassed double-digit games, has been the 4 juniors, the individuals who have been a huge part of the success of the program the last 4 years. Sydney Wake is among them, and earlier this season, we had an opportunity to catch up with them and talk to those 4 juniors about the leadership components they display and what they believe the key to success is for this program, especially for the younger student athletes. Take a look.
The class, like we always talked about this, like, hey, like we really have to step up this year since we don't have a lot of seniors. The only senior right now is Bangasu. And so I feel like that is like a big responsibility for all of us, but I think it's a good responsibility because that gives us an idea of like, this is what we have to do now. Like we really have to show like the underclassmen, like this is how Gannon volleyball is.
This year we're focusing a lot on being a unit, like being one team and not individual players. Like everyone doing things the same. Like at practice we all tuck our shirts in, no jewelry, like stuff like that. But then also just like being like you might be doing this wrong and I'll tell you, but I'll also tell you when it's right. Like giving that constructive criticism and just knowing that everyone supports each other.
Yeah, it was really scary coming in as a freshman because you don't know how it works. You don't know what the practices are like or even how coach is like every day. And then it's also scary because you don't know the order of drills or like where the balls are supposed to go, where you're supposed to toss them. And I think our class is going to be really open and like easy to work with. Like if they have questions, like we're really nice about it. Not like, oh, like I can't believe she didn't know that. Like we're very like all very good, chill, slow going, easy going with everything that we do.
Coach does a really good job on recruiting girls who kind of have like all the same personality, which is really nice. And I feel like I said, Gannon volleyball is very united and we want to keep it that way, like on and off the court. So I think the freshmen have like done a really good job on sticking together, even just with the class, like their class and with the seniors and like upperclassmen and stuff like that.
I've always felt like I'm pretty loud on the court and just am like a strong figure on the court. And now that, we have such a small senior class, us and the other juniors kind of just have to step up and, we're glad to do it. Definitely a vibe that we've picked up this year so far.
I think we all just know that everyone has each other's best interests in mind and that you're not going out there to be like vicious about it. You're not trying to tear someone down and you're trying to make them better. And in the spring we talked about it a lot, that that's what's best for the team overall, to like be honest and truthful, and we all know that and can take that.
It takes a village, and in this case, it takes a team to be successful, and the 4 juniors a huge part of the success that we've seen so far this season and in years previous. Moving along with our podcast tonight, let's go back to men's soccer. We mentioned Frederick Paulson. We said at the start of the show you'd hear from him 3 times. Well, the first time was being the PSAC Athlete of the Week for men's soccer. The second time was being our male Student Athlete of the Week. And the third time is now. Last week, we showed you part 1 of 3 of our Tic-Tac goal series with men's soccer. It's a simple competition. 2 student athletes go against each other, try to play tic-tac-toe into a soccer net. Winner moves on to the final. Well, we already have 1 into the finale. Now, who's going to join them? Frederick Paulson against Jensen Peak in part 2 of our series Tic-Tac Goal starts now.
Peak, I'm Frederick Paulson, and today we're playing Tic-Tac Goal. I'll go first.
We'll take that. That'll do.
Is that even the middle though? Where was it?
Put it somewhere, boys. Yeah, I'll take the middle.
I'm just gonna block you then.
Hang on, that's the exact same place.
That's to the right. That's to the right.
That's the exact same place.
That's to the right by far.
Boys, that's the exact same place.
It's the same. Nah, it wasn't the same.
It's nice and easy.
If that's not the middle as well, that's the middle as well.
That's the corner.
No, what is...
Thank you.
Can I get another judge?
Thank you. Okay, I'll give you that.
Nah.
Congrats.
Nah. I have to block you now.
Yeah, no, I've got a few options. Crossbar challenge.
That's a good one though.
Oh, he's done it.
Can we get VAR on that one as well? Can I just take 2 squares?
No. Oh. Oh. It goes, Aaron.
Honestly, I feel like I need to win instead.
Freddie, just please end it. Yes! I just needed some pressure.
It's all right, man. More technical ability over this side, anyway.
No. No, this was the first one. This was the first one.
So Frederick Bowson's having himself a pretty darn good week. 2 Athlete of the Week honorees, and he's moving on to the Tic-Tac-Toe Goal Championship, which will air next week against Manuel Pereira. That's going to be an exciting one, no doubt. And as the guy who was around shooting it, it's going to be one for the ages. Make sure to watch next week. Tic-Tac Goal Final for men's soccer. Big thanks to the student athletes for being a part of that, and for all our fall coaches for working with us to show you the light and exciting side of Gannon student athletes as well. They all have great personalities, and it's wonderful to get to work with them. All right, let's end our show tonight the only way we know how. That's our top 5 plays of the week. Another great one, some incredible plays that got left off the list. This list, of course, though, is the 5 that we saw both with our cameras and with our eyes with home and road games. Our top 5 plays of the week comes to you right now here on this Thursday. Let's start with number 5. 2 swimming ones to get us started. We begin at number 5 with Juliana Romero Castro, part of a big early surge for the women's team as she takes the win in her heat in the backstroke event and would lead the women's team to a strong performance. Milan Mado saying at the end of the meet, I really felt like we achieved more than I thought we would in meet number 1. So big kudos to the women's side. How about at number 4 with the men's team? They had 16 races in the meet against Clarion. They won 12 of them, including this one, in what was a big start to the relay success for the Golden Knights. They end up coming away with a win over Clarion in their first meet of the season. So swimming off to a great start. Tell you what, they're going to be a team to look out for, both teams, as we go through the season. Number 3 from last night, soccer against UPJ in a rain-shortened game, but when the game was being played, Une Monasterio was huge. Take a look at this goal one more time. The feed from Jesse Watkins, and with the left foot, no hesitation, puts it right into the corner. Golden Knights win 4-0. They get a big test against IUP, put their unbeaten record on the line coming up on Saturday. Big goal from June, and the Golden Knights with a big win on Wednesday. Number 2, men's soccer. This is from yesterday against Seton Hill on the road. Take a look at this one-touch pass that finds Enzo Recca, who doesn't go into the top corner, and said short side where the goaltender was sliding. One touch from Sverre Orton. Rafa hide the right-footed pass, and then Recca, where no one expects him to put it. He just needs a little bit of space, folks, and the celebration to boot. Golden Knights double up the Griffins 4-2 in a big conference win to sweep Seton Hill this season. At number 1, though, take a look at this. Volleyball against Seton Hill. Ella Demerol, the big save, and it leads to this. Gann doesn't get the kill, but that's okay because Lauren Atwell says, get that out of my way. I'll take the block, the rejection, and the point to boot. One more look. Demerol with the incredible save. Right hand larceny to keep the point alive. And it just ends up in the hands of the Golden Knight defense. They've been almost unstoppable in a lot of games in the last few weeks. And Gannon comes away with a 3-set win over the Griffins, part of a weekend sweep on Friday and Saturday. They'll be back in action, of course, tomorrow at Edinburgh, and then Cedarville, their opponent, on Saturday at the Highmark Event Center. So a lot to look forward to, a lot of excitement this weekend. Of course, a big thanks to both Megan Ickes and Luke Molina for joining us ahead of cross-country championships on Saturday. Here's a look at what's on tap one more time. So your route is planned if you want to be around the area and watch Golden Knight athletics on Saturday. Want to make sure that you get the opportunity to watch all of our teams locally. So cross country in the morning at Edinburgh for PSAC championships. So you can head down south for that game. Then you can come right back up to McConnell Family Stadium and watch football in the Battle of 814 against Edinburgh on Saturday. That'll be a noon kickoff. And soccer, men's soccer specifically, home at 5:30 for Senior Day, part of a 3-course meal, if you will, of home events on Saturday. Kind of home events on Saturday for the Golden Knights. So it should be an exciting weekend ahead. Lots of things to look forward to. Postseason action continues, and for other fall programs, the push to the postseason truly begins now. We've got one more show for you in the month of October. That comes your way next Thursday at 6 o'clock right back here at the UPick6 Tap House. Then after October, we're switching locations, so make sure to stay tuned to see where we go next so you can join us live in person for that show in November. So from all of us at Gannon University and for our athletic department, we want to say thank you for being a part of our podcast tonight. Make sure to join us next Thursday, 6 o'clock, right back here at the UPick6 Tap House, in what will be more of a treat instead of a trick ahead of the Halloween holiday. Enjoy your evening, everybody. Have a wonderful and safe weekend. We'll see you out at all the games and events around the area for the Gannon Golden Knights. And make sure to make it a wonderful Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Take care.